Welcome back to COVID-19 Franchise Leaders Respond. I'm your host, Red Boswell, president of IFPG, and we are joined today by a true franchising leader, longtime friend, brother Justin Livingston of Unity Road. Justin, welcome.
Thanks, Red. Appreciate you doing these and having me on the show.
Absolutely. So, first of all, how are you and the family doing? Staying safe, healthy?
We're safe, we're healthy, we're kind of settling into the new routine. I have 3 little ones, and so this is now company HQ, family HQ, school HQ. So like most people, it's not boring.
I am crossing my fingers that one of them runs by streaking.
I mean, it's entirely possible.
All right. So help the listeners understand, what is Unity Road?
Yeah, so Unity Road is really a pioneer in franchising, and we've been at this about a year now, in combining franchising and that amazing world that you and I come from and live in with cannabis and dispensaries, which you can't, well, now you can with all that's going on, but up until this, you couldn't look at any news feed, any financial report, anything that doesn't talk about cannabis, whether it's legal, becoming legal, about to be legal. The legalities change. It's a complicated thing, but we have put the tried and true 10-year path of doing this successfully here in Colorado in cannabis with our combined teams, 45 plus years of combined franchise experience, to really marry two worlds that cannabis needs franchising. Cannabis needs structure and brand and routine and systems and processes and all these things that
legal
us franchise people love.
Yes.
It doesn't exist in cannabis. So to be able to bring a new industry into franchising is something we're pretty excited about.
You really are extreme example of why franchise. I keep going over this over and over, but being a mom and pop right now, especially in your world, no.
It's hard. Yeah. It's hard.
The support, in fact, we've got a hashtag we've been starting to use, and everything is, and I think it really encompasses exactly what we've all been doing. Is called hashtag franchising stronger together. It's
for sure.
That's what we're doing. I mean, we're helping each other all day, every day. We're dedicated, IFPG, the whole support team, to what can we do? We've got a rally cry: no Zor left behind. Let's work together to support everybody and help. And that's just for donating our time to get the word out, the best practices. So thank you for being on here today. How is your franchise organization, Unity Road, how are they faring through this? And is there anything you could share that you've done to support them in a different way?
Yeah, so we're actually faring okay. In most states and cities right now, cannabis dispensaries are deemed essential. So grocery stores and medical places, dispensaries, liquor stores. There was a 92-minute blackout of liquor or proposed blackout of liquor and cannabis in Denver. And it did not go well a couple days ago. So,
92 minutes.
92 minutes before the government stepped in and said, wait, we're just kidding. We're just kidding.
There's rioting in the streets.
It's crazy because from a recreational standpoint, I think people are using, cannabis and alcohol as kind of a little bit of an escape, a little bit of a release, but also there's so many medical benefits and necessities of cannabis that you just simply can't take it away. So yeah, it was announced that it was going to be closed. People lined up blocks and blocks and blocks, not 6 feet apart, Red. And and the mayor came in and said, no, just kidding. You guys are good. So industry wise, honestly, cannabis is up. And I hate to even sometimes say that because I know everybody's hurting and we're hurting in many ways as well. But from a product standpoint, from a brick and mortar retail standpoint, we're doing well. The demand is still there. People are still out and buying these types of products. We've had to do a lot of pivoting on how we operate and what that looks like, and supporting our people to make sure that they are abiding by all the stay-at-home orders and the social distancing and curbside pickup, which has never existed in this industry. So lots
legally
of
anyway
to keep people safe. Right? Yeah, exactly.
That was the industry.
Real stores, right? Yeah.
So your stores, when they've been said close, if they can at least have somebody inside, they can do curbside pickup, bring it out to them. Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of our franchise brothers and sisters are kind of adopting this, right? Where even you call ahead your breakfast order, and then they're running it out to your car. If you don't have a drive-through, drive-throughs are not common in cannabis or even alcohol, right? In liquor stores. So you have to adapt. How can we keep people safe and apart, but still get them the products that they need, be it groceries or your morning cup of coffee or your breakfast burrito or your margarita now,
Sure.
whatever the case may be. And so we're adapting to that. With alcohol and cannabis, it's a little bit trickier because you've got ID issues, and you need to make sure that people are of legal age or have their medical card, depending on the state. So it's complicated, but we're adjusting and doing that on a case-by-case basis to make sure that people are staying safe and have access to the product they need.
Okay, so what about the folks in process? Let's look at FranDev process, discovery process, and then training beyond that. How have you pivoted, maybe utilize technology for that?
Yeah, so I'm a big, and have been my entire time in franchising, deals done in person. Let's break bread, let's shake hands kind of a guy. And I think most of us are. When you're inviting somebody into your franchise family, I think that's important. The reality is, it's not the case right now. And there's been so much talk. This franchise community, as you know, as a leader, is such a help everybody communicate, share best practices kind of a group. So there's been lots of these Zoom meetings, right? We're all on Zoom meetings 24/7 now. But I think that's really what it is too. So you hear franchisors that are kind of just taking a breath and stepping back. Operationally, there's a whole other set of issues that I think people are responding. The resiliency of some of these companies and what they're doing to change their model fundamentally is awesome. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really incredible. For us, from a FranDev standpoint, it's about making sure that we are just complying, right? People are still trying to take control of their future. In fact, and I don't know what you guys have seen, I assume the same, people now are home and on the computer and worried about control and taking control and supporting their family. And boy, that's really good for franchising. Every economic downturn, no matter why, obviously we haven't seen this, but that's always been good for franchising because people want to take control of their future. And I don't think this is going to be much different, although we're going to have to adapt on how we do that. So, starting to use technology, use Zoom and use Microsoft Teams and all of these different platforms out here for communication, that you can record videos and do tours of your facility and have these really robust virtual discussions and develop these relationships and even do discovery days and signings. It's all got to be virtual now. If you want to do any business, at least for the next 90 days. And let's be honest, we don't know when this may end. So
Sure.
I
And
think
how much of that have you done yourself? Have you been transitioning to that already?
we are, yeah. So the good news is the technology has come out in force here as you and I are on this Zoom call right now. I'd never heard of Zoom before this. So
Ah,
yeah, I think it's there. And so I think it's just a matter of getting buy-in from the whole system to make sure that you're not shortchanging your prospects in the experience they get to really become intimately familiar with your concept. And then putting together that program, again, very structured like we love in franchising, so that you can continue to walk those prospects through so that you can make a good mutual decision.
well, how about any examples that to get more tangible example of franchisees going above and beyond, or maybe you guys pivoting and adapting beyond what you've already shared? Maybe a franchisee that's really triumphed over adversity during this time.
Yeah, I think one of the things I see in our system, and I hear it echoed among other systems too, is people's desire to give back. It's really amazing when people's backs are against the wall, and these amazing franchisees and all of the amazing systems, ours is certainly no different, utilizing what tools you have for good. You're hearing of food companies that are now delivering to doctors and nurses in hospitals. You're talking about tattoo companies that are now doing gloves and masks. I mean, I think this is where really we as a society are going to shine. And it's really easy to get down the rabbit hole of woe is me and how bad things are and how things are difficult right now. And those are all true. And that's the reality that we live in. But I think what really is inspiring to me is listening to franchisees who are saying, listen, I am still up and running and I have found a way, or our model lends itself to pivoting. And I'm going to use this money for good, or use this product for good, or all the amazing fitness concepts out there that are just like, now it's online and now it's free for a while so that you can get
Yeah.
out and get moving. I mean, the amount of kindness that is flooding the internet and flooding our society as we're all kind of in these uncertain times, I think is just pretty life-changing, and it's going to be a game changer much longer than this pandemic lasts.
It is. The franchise industry will be stronger. The world in general will be stronger, closer together, more trusting, we believe. Certainly maybe a little cleaner, sanitize wise, but a little more nux on the elbow. But yeah, man, we've been encouraged, and I've started doing these franchise leaders respond series, and hoping to be a blessing to others and share best practices. And every time I just walk away almost weeping of, oh my gosh, I love what we do.
Agreed. We've got a family here, a global family in franchising that's, I think we're all finding much more close-knit than we even thought before, as you're getting on Zoom calls with franchisors in different countries. And it really doesn't matter. Honestly, this has made the world in general, and certainly the franchising world, a much smaller place, especially for companies who've not really gone beyond their region or beyond borders. I think now it's really easy, and these calls are happening worldwide, and it's really cool. I think it's opening some eyes to how small this world really is.
Absolutely right. And what is your thoughts as we wrap up on, in your words, 90 days from now? Where do you see things going from Unity Road as well as franchising as a whole in the short to midterm?
Yeah, so my assumption is that the last couple of weeks, people have just been scared, right? It's scary. There's too much uncertainty. There's too much unknown. But starting about 2 days ago, I found that now they're here, and you can't just sit and be scared. You have to do something. And by the way, you're online all the time, right? And so you've gotten to the point where you can filter out every email that has COVID-19 in the subject line, right? That's easy. And so now you want to start hearing what people are talking about, and you want to start hearing some of the good news and hearing some of these stories. And so I think people are going to start moving towards what's next. And we don't know if next is 30 or 60 or 90 or 180 days. We don't know. But with uncertainty comes a need, I think, for people to control their destiny, to control their life, to control what they can do for their family, who they're trapped inside with, by the way. And so I think the next 90 days is positive in many respects, as we kind of learn what this new norm is going to be for a little while. And even if this thing ended tomorrow, I don't think there's anybody in the world that thinks the impact isn't going to be substantially down the road. And so for franchising, and from a development standpoint, from an operational standpoint, all of a sudden, to your point, we have concepts and groups and franchisors and franchisees that are stronger, that are more nimble, that are more caring, that are more generous. And as we begin to rebound together, I think that people are going to be flooding towards the control of business ownership, and to your point, being stronger together in a franchise system.
Hashtag franchising stronger together, baby.
Absolutely.
Justin, you're such a good friend. Thank you for giving back and sharing about Unity Road, what you guys are doing, how other franchisors and business owners can learn from that, and again, be stronger together. Justin Livingston, Unity Road franchise opportunity. Appreciate your leadership, my friend.
Thanks. You guys too. You're always a pleasure, my friend.
Stay strong.
You too.